Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back with Iowa Peacemaker and Big J. Just a reminder, Big J has a YouTube channel. He's getting very close to 1,000 subscribers. I will leave a link down in the description. Make sure you guys head over there, show the guy some love, get him over that 1,000 for Christmas. I believe in you guys. Anyway, so we're going to be in the Shimakaze. So basically when I'm in a division, what I like to do is just let them decide what they want to play. I played the Ohio a few times, and then they wanted to play some battleships, so I'm like, yeah, I'll do some spotting. It's not a big deal. And you guys know that I play my destroyers in a play-to-win sort of scenario, right? Like, I'm not out to get a whole bunch of damage. I'm just trying to do my job, right? Spot, capture bases, keep the riffraff at bay. Well, we spawn in against 4 destroyers. And this match goes from basically, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do here, to just playing smart, zoning torps, keeping the torpedo boats in check, and spotting not just the ships, but also screening for my battleships behind me. When you see like what I'm about to do, just remember that you gotta remember that you have to assume that torps are coming. The Shima isn't the best turning boat in the world. One thing you can do in the Shima, however, is put yourself in good positions, do area denial, aka zoning torpedoes, like we're about to do. We know that the enemy has gotten into the B cap. Just as a shout out to the TT guys as well, we did run into a couple of the TT guys. I'm not as familiar with these particular TT guys as I am some of them, so I'm not sure if these guys, or how long these guys have been with TT or anything like that. I just know that, I know the name TT from playing with Aaron and Peak and stuff back in the day. But as you can see, we get the zoning torps out there, unfortunately. First salvo of torpedoes, no bueno. But we get in here and we contest the cap. Now, this particular positioning for contesting is definitely not ideal. But we do manage to catch a Holland broadside here. Now, we're spotting him just outside of our range, and this is why the Shimakaze is so dangerous. Right? It's got these ridiculous amount of torpedoes that do a gajillion damage, but it's so freaking stealthy. You can do stuff like this where you just sit right outside the edge of being detected, keeping people lit up, forcing them to use all of their abilities to get out of there. And then here's the zoning torps, or zoning that screening that I was telling you guys about. So spotting these torpedoes early, giving my battleship behind me a chance to dodge them. The enemy does capture the base initially, but we know at least 2 of the destroyers are here, potentially 3, because the TT guy spawned here at mid, which means his destroyer is likely here as well. So there's a good possibility we have 3 out of the 4 destroyers in this area. So here, Shimakaze smokes up, Holland runs into that smoke, and you can see off to my left, you can see there's a second smoke screen over there. Now, obviously, my thought process here is that that destroyer is going to probably reverse towards the island, knowing he has a short duration smoke screen. So we try to put the torpedoes in a place to catch that just in case. They're going to spread out a little bit, but we do hit a torpedo on the smoke screen to our right, which had the Shimakaze in it. So there's 14,000 damage. And you can see our torpedoes are looking pretty good. The one thing that's scaring me is that little gap in between those 2 sets of torps, or on that one set of torps. But fortunately for us, we do manage to land a torp over there. So, again, this is going to point to 2 separate things. We actually land 2 torpedoes on him, and he gets away with it. I have no idea how we managed to land 2 separate torpedo hits, and he lives. I can only assume that we caught, like, the beginning of the ship, and ended up having damage saturation, like, he survives it. But 2 torpedo hits from a Shimakaze, usually 1 will send a destroyer home, but 2 should have killed him. But he gets away with it for now. We're just going to, once again, spot those torpedoes for our battleships. We can see that the main is here as well. I'm not as concerned with the main. I can keep him spotted. I know that my teammates are in Yama or Ohio, so like they should be able to easily punish this over-angled main, and you can see they are, in fact, punishing him. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, we need to get rid of this guy. There's no reason to leave them alive. So we drop one set on the Ohio. We're going to go ahead and start looping back around again. And this is all I'm doing. Like, it doesn't seem like I'm doing anything, right? But I'm doing my job. I'm keeping the enemy at bay. I'm trying to keep these guys off balance, right? We're trying to take them out of their game plan. And by torping the Shima, torping the, assuming the, what do you call it? The daring over there. By torping these guys, like, we are actually keeping these guys in check. They're not able to be as aggressive as they normally would be because of these torpedoes. And because of our stealth, and because we keep screening for our battleship, every time we come back around, we're able to spot the torpedoes early enough for our teammates to get out of there. Now, you can see, I'm pretty confident this main has no chance to get out of this. You can see the destroyer off to my right is getting punished, so he shouldn't be long for this world. He goes down. That was the Holland. So we know the Holland's down. We know that we did get a torp hit on the Ohio back in the back. We got a beautiful looking torp strike happening on the main as well. And now it's time to start being a little bit more aggressive. We've used all of our torps pretty well here. Daring pushes up. He goes and tries to smoke up. We get a shot on him. Doesn't do much, but he smokes up because he has to. Our teammates are trying to shoot him. I shoot into the smoke. I get another hit as well, but unfortunately not able to get a good hit. Now, I don't want to go straight at him here because I'm expecting him to launch torpedoes. Also, by this point, if he loaded up his sonar early, his sonar is definitely on cooldown, most likely, right? So we're going to go ahead and take the chance of just rushing him. Even if he did sonar me, how much damage is he going to get on me before I can get close enough to spot him and kill him? You can see he does try to get those torps away at our battleship, I believe. I don't know if those were meant for me. I think they were probably meant for our battleship behind me. But we're going to push forward and try to catch him. But unfortunately, he's a slippery little guy. Gets around the corner just in time to get away, which is real unfortunate. Now, obviously here I've got a choice to make. You know, we got choices. And oh my god, that last torpedo was kind of sick. And then, of course, we go ahead and dodge this one as well. So a little bit of torp beats for you guys as well. Just paying attention. You can expect it. You know you're rushing a destroyer. He has the capability of launching torps one at a time. So you got to take that, right? And then, of course, we come around the corner. I was going to torp the Ohio, but Daring went wide. So we have a chance to finish him off. And we do manage to finish him off. And at this point, I've got an Ohio very close range. And I have plenty of torpedoes to make him absolutely regret life choices. So at this point, I'm expecting that I kill this guy, right? But at the same time, like, it's not difficult for a battleship to dodge all of the torps. Like, he's not going to dodge all of them. He's going to take torps, but as long as he doesn't take all of the torps, he's going to be okay. And you can see he does manage to get turned in enough, pointing his nose towards the torpedo threat, that he only takes 2 of these torpedoes, which is impressive, really. But we end up leaving him with just enough to get away. And, of course, he's going to make us pay by shooting us again, which I can't really blame him for. But he slaps us pretty good, but leaves us with just enough to get away. And what I do next is what we can only consider as disrespectful. I initially fire my HE at him here. I was going to wait until he gets into the smoke, and then I switch over to AP. I'm like, okay, now that he's in the smoke, he cannot see me. Smoke works both ways, folks. If he's in the smoke, he can't spot me, so I can sit here and shoot him. And look at the AP damage on the side of this Ohio from a Shimakaze. Shimas, you have guns too, and using them is pretty funny. So, taking down an Ohio-class battleship with armor piercing from a Shimakaze, something you don't get to hear every day, you know? Just a little something different. Where else on the internet are you going to see a Shima that's actually doing this kind of stuff, you know? It doesn't happen. I'm the only one. I'm the only Shimakaze that I've ever seen in videos actually, like, play for the team, do everything you got to do to try to win the game for your team, and then on top of that, have no qualms about getting in a gunfight if I have to. Like, I have torpedoes, yes, but my guns are far more effective at helping get rid of destroyers. And you know the fun thing about shooting people with guns? Usually it leads to mistakes that end up causing them to hit your torpedoes as well. So, you know, just little things like that. You can use the Shima's guns as well, and they are good guns. HE's fantastic. AP's pretty good as well, as we just showcased on the broadside. Obviously, if somebody's bowing, you're not going to be wanting to use your guns on them, but don't be afraid if they give you a broadside to load up some AP and punch away. I've seen it, or I've shown you guys in the past of catching Minos with Shima and using the AP to Citadel a Mino, which is always funny. But again, it's a scenario that you just don't see very often. You don't see Shimikazes doing this, where they play for the team. They're not out to just farm damage. They're just trying to do everything they can to help the team. And at one point, we had 3 out of the 4 destroyers in the cap, or around the cap of the B cap. And look at the health of my battleships. Why is that? How are they able to stay so healthy with 3 out of 4 destroyers in their neighborhood? Simple, guys. Screening. Paying attention. Knowing where the enemy's at. Trying to help your buddies out. Like, your teammates are important, man. You can't just, like, leave them to do what they're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the rest of this match because it's just hunting but like I've always said with the Shimikaze is simple. Like, yes, everybody wants damage, right? Like, everybody wants the big numbers, the accolades, you want all the things. But there is something to be said about doing your job, going out, trying to keep all of the enemy off balance. You will win far more games just by trying to help your teammates with capping, spotting, helping screen for torpedoes, spotting those torps early. You know, using perceptive to know the direction of the closest enemy is huge because that allows you to zoning torp. It also allows you to kind of have an advanced warning of when you might get detected so you can be ready to disengage. Like, there's so many uses for perception. And it also reduces the amount of damage. If we didn't have perceptive, there's a good chance that Ohio kills us. But as you can see, we do manage to get the Z-44 spotted here. We're going to go ahead and take a shot at him. We do get a hit, but unfortunately Alaska managed to take him down first. Shima then decides to come out from behind the islands, and this is exactly what we knew was going to happen, right? These guys were running away the whole time. So it's just try to get our shells out there. We end up overshooting, and then our allies end up taking them down. But it was a solid game overall, and I think a very good showcase of a destroyer player who's just taking what the enemy gives him, right? Like, you can still get damage with a destroyer by doing your job. 120k is nothing, no small feat, and another 3k base XP. Big J, Iowa, they didn't get as much accolades in this match, just simply due to the fact that most of the ships that they had to shoot at were destroyers, so there's not a whole lot to be gained there in terms of damage or anything like that. So again, thank you guys for joining me. If you guys got anything to add to this down in the comments below, I highly look forward to hearing what you guys got to say. But if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.